some of them darks in, contrast against that light. Nice. That knot, and get a bit more colour, a bit more dark into that. Yeah, let that stay there for a short while, and then I can come back once I've run out of a bit of colour. See how that's still quite dark? I want to run out of a bit of colour, and then I can come back into that area and just make it have some lovely little streaks that would disappear off. Right knot is that one. Have some fun with it, don't worry. If you want to make it lighter and you make it too dark, you can put some more titanium white to this, but you just got to be really careful when you do that, because you don't want to overkill. Trust me, it's not worth it. Right, I'm going to come back over here. I've got one more layer to do on each, and then I think that will be good. So just in there, I'll make that darker. That knot, central knot, and then same again. Just gonna make it darker here and there. Maybe we've got one coming up, just a knot there. And let's turn it around. Another little knot. If you put it on darker, like I said, you can always go back in afterwards and just give it a lovely effect, a lovely streaky effect. A few of them lights so it's not quite as bright. It's getting there now. See, every time I go over it, like I say, because as it's drying, it just allows you to go just that little bit darker each time. You can get a wonderful effect for grain of the wood here. Really nice. And then one last one, start in the knot area, and then work out into it there. See, I'm leaving them bits of light. I want to do that because it'll give us a lovely edge. Some of there. Now, do it down the side. I know you guys gotta see this, but doesn't matter. I want to show you this other side when I do that. Right, again, I want to just go back into here now. This has dried a bit more. Just want to darken it slightly here and there. And you're not just drying it. I'm not putting too much pressure on. I'm allowing the actual paint to just come off naturally. A bit darker in there. That's a good one. See them little streaks. Gives you lovely effects. Right, I'm going to call that it for them, and then I want to pull these off. See, I've got a little bit on my canvas there, don't worry about that. Easy enough to put a tiny bit of primer back over that. It's not a problem in the slightest. Oh, perfect. Try not to make the joints match up, because when you cut the wood, they cut at random, you see, and they never match up. That's why you do that, so it looks more natural, you see. Cool. What I've got, I'm just going to use my the wood stain that I'm using, the dark oak wood stain, and I've got some black acrylic on the palette. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use a bit of that wood stain colour, dark brown wood stain, see that, in with the black acrylics. Because these are both water based paints, they will mix perfectly. And then with that dark brown, you notice I put masking tape just along there, not on the area where the gold's going to be. This is going to be a black strip just all the way around where the frame is. So I put masking tape at the bottom, masking tape there, so when I paint in between it, it'll leave me a lovely strip. The same at the top. So let's just come in there and just apply some of that. I only need to use a little filbert brush for this, it doesn't need to be a big brush. But it is important to have the mixture of the black with the oak colour, because I don't want it to be a straight black. I want it to look like an old antique frame, if you like, this one. There we go. So that's the bottom area. I'll let that dry. Go to the top. Get a bit more of that colour there as well with that. And then up in here, same thing again. You notice with this I'm always coming away from the tape on the ends. I never go towards it because it goes underneath this edge. Same up this side, pull it to right to left. And just block that in there. Now I can come back down here, this should be semi-dried, and I can just come over that. Make it a bit more opaque. You guys probably won't be able to tell, but I will. So just in there, put a bit more of the colour. Same up in here. A bit more of the dark. That's it, that's cool. That's what I was wanting. Now, I'm just going to take this bit of tape off for now and let it actually dry, because then I can do the sides. See, it's creeped under just a tiny bit in places. You guys, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but if that does happen, you don't have to worry about it. It's not a problem at all, because we're using the gold on the inside of the dark line. This dark line just helps the gold stand out and have a bit more of a 3D effect. Right, what I've done, I've just dried that with the hairdryer. I always keep the hairdryer at hand when I'm doing these frames. Comes in handy and it cuts the time down big style, so you're not having to wait for it to dry in between every time. So I'm just going to put this down this edge first of all, and then I want to repeat it on the left. Exactly the same it wants to be. There. So that's that side, and then I'll do this side as well. Straight in there. It's only a thin strip. I've probably done it about ½ centimetre for this little black strip. ½ centimetre is perfect for what you need. Right, and again I've got that black acrylics and the brown paint, and then just down in there I can do the same thing. Get some of that dark colour in there. Quite a quick process actually is this part, really simple. And then we're going to more or less do exactly the same on the inside part there, but for the gold. It's lovely rich gold colour that we're going to put on the inside edge. And then this side. See, as I'm doing this side, that side's drying. So then when I go back into that, it'll make it much more opaque and it won't be transparent at all. In other words, when it's opaque it stands out better. When it's transparent it won't stand out quite as good. Cool, so back to my dark again, over this side, and just try and get a bit more opaque. There we go. I'm happy with how that's turned out. Right, so take this tape off now. Ooh. Stick it all down there. Now you can see we've got that little inside edge now. I hope you can see that. I hope it stands out to you. If you let it dry in between, you should never have a problem with the tape pulling the paint off. You know, once it's dry, you should never have that problem. Because I've dried this with the hairdryer, you see. And if they're good quality acrylics, they never do that anyway. Krylers are the ones I would suggest to use. The Kryler are some of the best. There's loads of makes like this Daler-Rowney and all sorts, but I just like the Kryler acrylics. I tend to find that they work really good for me. Right, so what I've done is I've actually, see the inside line? I've measured an inch back from the inside line of that black line, an inch back, and then I've put the tape on again so that we're going to have another strip an inch apart. So I'm just going to put that same colour in there. You don't need to take time with this neither, you can do it really fast. The faster you do it, the quicker it's done. You don't really need to mess about with it. As long as you've got that colour in there and use these simple rules I'm telling you. Like I say, is to do the bottom one first, leave it, let it dry, do this top one then. By the time you finish the top one, it'll be dry enough for you to go down to the bottom one. And just make it a bit darker. We don't want it transparent. In other words, basically we want it to stand out from the brown that's behind. Just enough. Right, so down there, do the same again. Any light areas, just go into the lighter areas and just put a bit more colour in them lighter areas. Make sure that it's right up to tape. Don't leave no areas of the brown showing through, because you won't have the definition. There we go. That's good. In fact, I have to go back up to my top part again. Nearly forgot. Back up in here. I would have left some transparent areas if I'd have forgotten then. Cool. Now, just gonna I'm basically doing this because obviously when I put the next tape on, that would be preventing us getting a nice line. Right, so hairdryer, my little trusty hairdryer that's done me proud for years. I've had this hairdryer probably for about 15 years. Bottom bit one more time. I just don't want to get into a situation where I'm pretty much forced into putting the tape over when it's still wet, so I'm hoping that that's going to be dry enough now, and then I'll just measure it basic, as long as it's a bit longer than you want it, that's cool. And then just in here I can use some masking tape, and same width again as what we've been doing. This will be quite thin. Whoops. Doesn't always work exactly how you want it to, especially when you're doing it live or real time like this for you all. There's a lot of pressure when you're doing this actually, I'll be honest with you. There we go. Just let that go in there like so. Same on the other side now. Measure that up. And just get the right thinness. That's good. Right, so I'm straight back into my brown and black again, and I've just put the masking tape up the sides this time. Before we did this bottom line, now I'm just doing the sides. So into my brown, dark oak colour again, so I'm black with that, and then just up in there, just want to come over and put some of that colour in. Get a good balance of probably 50-50 black to the brown. So it's just a little bit opaque, a little bit transparent. You don't want it to be totally black, like I say. It's finding that balance. You'll know when you've got it right anyway, when it feels good. There we go. Satisfaction you get from doing these frames is amazing. It really does feel good afterwards when you see them. You see the finished product. There. Just going to go over do this side now. Again 50-50, black and the acrylic black and the brown wood stain. I love this oak colour though that you get for these frames. It's a really nice colour. Stands out beautiful. Got like a reddy hue to it as oak. Like I say, I'm going to do another DVD. This is the first one, got the 2 on, and the next one will have another 2 different frames. I'm going to have to do 2 DVDs because it's gone on a lot longer than I assumed it would. But there's that many to do. I'm hoping in the next one I'll be able to do 3 frames for you. I'll just have to speed it up a tiny bit. But yeah, I'll try and do 3 frames for you next time. Got some wonderful ones to show you still. These are gorgeous. I really love doing these, so that's why I chose these first. But all of the frames are nice and unique in their own way. So that's I'm really looking forward to doing the next one. See, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about the next one. Right, so I can pull all this tape off now. Get rid of all that. If you want, you can actually save these. You can just stick it up somewhere and reuse them again and again. That's what I do generally, but because I'm filming, I don't have that luxury. There we go. And like I say, that's just going to leave us basically a lovely line, as you can see there. And it gives a little boxed area. Now you can either leave it like it is now, you can leave it like that and it looks fine, and then just put the gold trim in. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put, before we painted in the rivets, didn't we, on the metal one? So on this one I'm going to actually make it look like little nails that are in there. So I'm just going to use a small brush for that, and I'm more or less just using the straight same colours, the brown with the black, just on a small brush this time. And then, like I told you before, I go in the centre, just guesstimate it, you know. If you're good with guesstimations, just guesstimate. If not, feel free to measure it. Oh, that's fine. I've just done it that often. I've done this quite a lot, you see, so I'm going to do these quite a bit bigger than I did the rivets, just a tiny bit bigger. About that sort of size. That's good. And then got one just on the edge there. Cool. One over here. Nice. Keep reloading your brush, and then when you've got the three on, centre it and put one in the centre of them two. Just in there. And then I want to put one in the centre of there. Now again, it's up to you, it's your choice whether you want to actually leave it like it is there, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is go back in